Meet Kevin, the savior of FTX, has a plan to get everyone their money back. He wants to start this relief fund thing that is supposedly going to get everyone who was sponsored by FTX to give the money into some pool to give it back to people. But it just seems like a way to try and appear as a hero when really you promoted FTX. That's really what this comes off as feeling like he's trying to put out this huge persona of being the guy against FTX and to be the good guy and give the money back, although he hasn't said that he was going to give his money back that he got sponsored from. So it's kind of funny that he come up with the entire fund idea, but he didn't do it himself. He's not willing to give his own money up as long as everyone else does too. So a little weird there that he doesn't offer his own money regardless of what happens to this fund, but here we are. He has his tweet saying on FTX, action must be taken, transparency, creators should not hide. I warned of the collapse before and apologize after. I made a mistake. Creators need to own it. I've ended all sponsorships. And the next step, I'm working on a relief fund for those affected. So it's so funny for people in Meet Kevin's situation because, yeah, he did know that this thing was going to collapse. He knew the money wasn't sustainable and couldn't figure out why they were spending so much on marketing when it wasn't converting. But he still took the money. He took that money, collected the paycheck, put it in his own pocket, and said, sorry that you lost all of your money. So does that make any sense? That doesn't sound good. That's not a good thing to brag about, that you saw this collapse coming and you still took the money. That's not something to parade around and be proud about. And on his part about sponsorship free and having no sponsorships, he made a post on YouTube and Twitter saying that, today was the first day he felt free because of no sponsors. But his agency has completely changed how their website looks. If you go to the website now, you'll be greeted with this little page here, a normal type thing telling you all this, my God, greatest company in the world. But what you won't see is something that was there before where you could see all of the people who were involved in the agency. Now you go to that page, this is what you get. 404 doesn't exist anymore. I wonder why. It's almost like there was a bunch of people who were calling out this entire agency here and showing how hypocritical they are, where all of these creators were taking pretty much the same sponsorship and promoting it, and we're all conveniently in one agency. So it was just a matter of time before they completely changed their website and got rid of this evidence, and now we see that it has been changed, but we do have a lot of people who covered it, so it's not like they're going to be able to hide from this. But that brings up the point, is he actually taking no sponsorships, or was he kicked out of this agency, or has the agency dissolved more and people left it? Because if he's leaving this agency and that's why he's not doing sponsorships and flipping it around to say, well, actually, I stopped it and I'm the good guy. Don't worry. You don't have to look in anything. Just trust me that I'm the good guy. They're going back to this relief fund saying that it should include all advertising revenue that was paid to the creators, saying he'll reveal his numbers soon. So be interesting to see what all that numbers are. Create a donation fund by end of the year. Creators should donate and any others may. Help those affected with a need now first application and board approval, which I guess sounds good on surface level. Sounds like you might want to give people money back, but it's really just a shield because you have to get every single creator involved who sponsored this to pool the money, to take responsibility and do this, which we've already seen they don't want to take responsibility for it. They're running away from it. So why would they do this? And even worse, in his fourth point at the end here, he talks about any money left in the fund after those affected are made whole, if any, gets invested via a DAO in Bitcoin as a non-profit charity for future donations to safe blockchain. This has like every trigger word, keyword, selling point on it. Why do you need a DAO? Why do you need to get leftover money? This doesn't make any sense. Why would you invest it in Bitcoin? Why would it be an investing DAO? Like, why? If this is money to make people who were affected from this bankrupt and collapse whole, why would you take leftover money? Because there shouldn't be any anyways, right? I mean, if you can raise $11 billion, that was like the Americans' part lost, and you can raise 12 billion, just don't raise that billion because you don't need it. But raising the 11 billion alone would be ridiculous. And saying to make safe blockchain, It just doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? This sounds like an attempt to take this venture, take it, make it sound good, make it a charity thing, take the money that's left over, if there's leftover money, flow it into your own business venture, and now you can use that money to start some random business that you want to. And he ends it off saying that you would need a board, people experienced with charities, and anyone willing to contribute. Future donations, I think, are unlikely. Wow, you think so? The damage is so widespread, there likely won't be much left, but if there is, it should be to promote safety, awareness, blockchain, education. So that can all sound good and have the feel-good words and all the keywords you want to hear and education. But what's the point? None of this FTX stuff had to do with any of that. FTX collapsing had nothing to do with blockchains, had nothing to do with safety, had maybe the Ponzi you consider unsafe, or awareness. Because the people that were aware were warning, but the people didn't care that the warnings were out there. The people who were promoting it were aware. Apparently, even Meet Kevin says he was aware, and he still promoted it. So what is this education going to do? It just seems like a feel-good way to get around trying to do something good and be the hero in a story where you're not the hero. You took FTX's money, you promoted them, you made money, and people who listened to you lost money. That's the simple explanation for the whole thing. And shockingly, Meet Kevin is finding low interest from the community in his relief fund, almost like people don't want to trust him with their money, just like they couldn't trust him with the sponsorship he was pushing. They just don't want it. But the results of this poll are pretty interesting here with they gambled their fall at 43.8%. So a lot of people saying, to not do this because it was somebody else's decision to ultimately sign up. But that doesn't take away from the fact that people like Meet Kevin should give their money back, especially someone like him trying to play the hero. You should give your money back. The money you made sponsorships, you should push that money back to people who lost it. If you could figure out a way to find who clicked your link and go down that route, it'd probably be very difficult. But if that could happen, you should make it happen. Instead of playing the hero, you should actually just do the right thing, especially because you're filthy rich. Even if you made $250,000 from the FTX sponsorship, that shouldn't even affect you in the slightest to give that money back. So I see no reason for holding out and hoping that the other YouTubers come in and do this relief fund. You just do it on your own, regardless of your fund starting up or not. So the FTX saga continues. More and more news, I'm sure, will be able to come out as we get more information, and it's probably only going to get even crazier, and maybe we have more YouTubers try and fit into the hero role. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in my next video.